Bishop Caldwell, a very, very fake book, Grammar of Dravidian Languages.
திராவிட மொழிகள் குறித்து கால்டுவெல் எழுதிய நூல் போலியானது என்றும் ஜியு போப்பும் கால்டுவெல்லும் பள்ளி படிப்பை கூட முடிக்காதவர்கள், கிறிஸ்தவ மதத்தை பரப்பத்தான் இந்தியாவிற்கு வந்தார்கள் என்ற பரபரப்பு குற்றச்சாட்டை தமிழ்நாட்டின் ஆளுநர் RN ரவி கூறியுள்ளார். இம்மாதம் மார்ச் 4ஆம் தேதி திங்கட்கிழமை சென்னை கவர்னர் மாளிகையில் நடைபெற்ற ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியில் சனாதன வரலாறு என்ற புத்தகத்தை வெளியிட்டு அவ்விழாவில் ஆளுநர் RN ரவி அவர்கள் பேசினார். அப்பொழுது மறைந்த திருமறை தமிழ் பெரியோர்களான பேராயர் கால்டுவெல், பேராயர் ஜியு போப் குறித்து சர்ச்சையான கருத்தை வெளியிட்டார். இவர்கள் பள்ளி படிப்பை கூட முழுமையாக முடிக்காதவர்கள் என்றும், திராவிட மொழிகள் குறித்து பிஷப் கால்டுவெல் எழுதிய நூல்கள் போலியானது என்றும், இவர்கள் இந்துக்களை மதமாற்றவே வந்தார்கள் என்றும் கீழ்த்தரமாக பேசி அவர் வகுத்துள்ள பதவியின் மாண்புக்கு தகுதியில்லாமல் பேசியுள்ளார். இது ஒட்டுமொத்த தமிழ் இனத்தையும் அனைத்து உலக கிறிஸ்தவ மக்களின் மனதையும் வெகுவாக காயப்படுத்தியுள்ளது. இவ்விரண்டு திருமறை பெரியோர்களால் தமிழகத்தின் தென் மாவட்டங்களில் உள்ள கிறிஸ்தவர்கள் மட்டுமல்லாது அனைத்து மக்களும் பயனடைந்து கல்வி கற்றதினால்தான் இன்று தென் மாவட்டங்களில் கல்வியும் நாகரீகமும் பொருளாதாரமும் சிறந்து விளங்கி வருகிறது. சாதி மத இன வேறுபாடுகளின்றி அனைவரையும் ஒன்றிணைத்து களப்பணியாற்றிய கிறிஸ்தவ பணியாளர்களின் பணியை கொச்சைப்படுத்தி அமைதி பூங்காவாக இருக்கும் தமிழகத்தில் மத கலவரத்தையும் சர்ச்சைகளையும் உண்டு பண்ணி தேர்தல் நேரத்தில் தனது வன்மத்தை கக்கியுள்ளதாக கிறிஸ்தவ முன்னணி உட்பட பல்வேறு கிறிஸ்தவ அமைப்புகள் தங்கள் கண்டனத்தை பதிவு செய்துள்ளது. இதுகுறித்து கிறிஸ்தவ முன்னணி இயக்கத்தின் சார்பில் தென் மண்டல செயலாளர் திரு ஜூடு கிங் அவர்கள் தூத்துக்குடி மாவட்ட ஆட்சித்தலைவரை சந்தித்து புகார் மனு அளித்துள்ளார். ஜியு போப் மற்றும் கால்டுவெல் இவர்களை குறித்து நீங்கள் கேள்விப்பட்டு அறிந்த தகவல்களையும் உங்கள் கருத்துகளையும் கருத்துரை பக்கத்தில் பதிவு செய்யுங்கள். பலர் பார்த்து பயனடையட்டும். இந்த காணொளியை மறவாமல் உங்கள் நண்பர்களுக்கும் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நன்றி.
So, in 1813, British Parliament passed a law, and the law is called India Charter Act 1813. In that India Charter Act, it is mentioned that the responsibility of the British in India is to evangelize India, to destroy Sanatana Dharma. It became a British government policy through an act. Earlier it was a company which was doing it, and after 1813 it became a project of the British government to destroy Sanatana Dharma and evangelize India. You know, even in 1858 when the British government took over, removed the company and took over the government directly, at the time the British Prime Minister was Henry Templeton. Now Henry Templeton, when he spoke in British Parliament, because when the British government took over, they had to explain to the Parliament why did they take over from the company. So Henry Templeton, the then Prime Minister of Britain, he delivered a speech. In his longest speech, he mentions that evangelization of India is not only our duty because duty is coming from the gospel earlier time that we must evangelize, but it is our necessity, a necessity, you know, because if we have to continue in India for long, we have to evangelize India. That was stated by British Prime Minister himself. So after 1813 India Charter Act, what the British government started doing, they had a body called Society for Propagation of Gospel, SPG. And then after 1813 they started recruiting large number of volunteers. Mostly they were school dropouts, high school dropout. And it was in that, and they started recruiting and bringing it to India, giving them some basic teaching in Bible and asking them to now evangelize with the protection of the British government, British military. It was in that background that Robert Caldwell, G.U. Pope, they were all recruited by Society for Propagation of Gospel, SPG. They were, Robert Caldwell, I saw somewhere written there he was a graduate. He is a school dropout. He didn't cross, he didn't pass even high school. These are the false information given on this Wikipedia and all the nonsense. He was not even. He was a person who couldn't even clear his high school. But they picked up such people and brought them to India. Different parts, Caldwell and G.U. Pope, they were brought in Madras presidencies, many others. And then they started with a strong force evangelizing, conversion. In fact, I do not know how many of us are aware that at the time, they had, by the time 18, 20, 25, 30, they had closed all the schools which were running here since long time, hundreds of years ago. Native schools were closed. Only missionaries were allowed to have the schools. And their admission was only if you are baptized. Unless a child is baptized, will not get admission in the schools. These are fact. Somebody will say that, okay, governor is talking like this. It is a historical fact. We must confront the truth. This is what happened in the past. They were not admitted. They had to, compulsorily, they had to study and pass tests in Bible. Nothing wrong in Bible. I don't have any enmity. In fact, I myself, I love Jesus. I have no problem with Jesus. I have no problem with even Bible. But they made it compulsory because as a Sanatani, I believe that all are equal. So in 1839, imagine, 1833, Ayya Vaikunt Swami appeared. It was at that time, 1824, Tiruvat Prakash Vallalar had appeared. All these people had appeared because Sanatana Dharma was being destroyed by the British. So 1839, 90,000 people of Madras Presidency, they signed a petition. It was presented by Gazulu Lakshminarasu Shetty. He, 11th of November 1839. I am giving all these dates because these are all verifiable. They are all documented there in the archives. It is not my imagination. 90,000. Imagine at that point of time what was the population of our country. Nothing. 1947 we were 33 crores. Imagine 100 years before, what was the population? And Madras Presidency, around 90,000 people signed a petition. This 3-page petition, it tells all about, please don't destroy our dharma. Don't put a condition that a child has to be baptized before admission, otherwise not admitted. Please, it is not done. In fact, Gazulu Lakshminarasu Shetty, he has started a journal from here called Madras Crescent to give a voice to the native people, our Indian people. Because the newspaper at the time was all controlled by the British. These are all there in the archives. And I urge the students, I urge the scholars to go and do the research. You read the Madras Crescent. First it was a weekly, then it became bi-weekly. It went on, it was published for almost about 20 years. By 1863-64, they had closed it because they found it not in their interest, because they thought that it was creating awareness among the people against the British. So, that was a period of acute suppression and oppression. It was a period of existential threat to Sanatana Dharma. It was in that background that Ayya Vaikuntha Swami had appeared. And when they started what they call is harvesting soul, they say conversion means harvesting soul. Even if somebody voluntarily goes, it's all up to choice because we don't distinguish between any faith. We believe all fine. But harvesting of soul, it became the responsibility of the British government. They started targeting mostly the people who were poor and marginalized. And it was in that background that all these Bishop Caldwell, they all started concentrating in Tirunelveli and all the South Tamil Nadu area. He started targeting them, and he is the one who wrote a very, very fake book, Grammar of Dravidian Languages. The person who has not even done the colleges, who has not crossed the school, he claimed to be a philologist, a great a linguist. And here people quote it. Because people here, even today, there are people who want to destroy Sanatana Dharma. Why? What a strange thing. Look, cannot be. Sanatana means indestructible. Sanatana means it has been always there and it shall always be there. You cannot destroy it. Sanatana is where all are inclusive. In fact, the world is looking forward to Sanatana. Because all other faith, all other systems are divisive. My way or highway. That is how everyone says. Others say. But we say no. We are all family. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Yadu mure yavaru